What a disaster. A complete disaster. So I look up, 5-second countdown starts, and I think, oh god. And then I set off, and after 5 seconds, I have to stop. I mean, it's one of those why me moments. As I say, I've talked about race anxiety before, and I suffer from it so often, more often than not. Hello. To shave or not to shave? Now this is the question. Things are getting really silly. I mean, serious right now. Now it's the night before my hill climb race, hosted by Outlands CC, and it's on Hammer Square Bank in Beamish in the northeast of the UK. Now this is going to be a vlog. I'm going to cover the night before through the morning, what I eat, what I'm going to take in my race day bag, which is all coming up, and we'll have a bit of footage of the day. It looks like the weather's going to be pretty bad, so the footage might not be great, and then maybe some reactions and reviewing the analytics for the effort on my training peaks. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy. And I think coming up is what's in my race day bag, and then I'll see you tomorrow for the pain. Here is the goodie bag. It's good as sweets in here. Now let's find out what I'm going to be taking to the race day. In no particular order. Obviously, helmet. UK hill climbs now stipulate that you have to have a helmet, otherwise you can't do the race. So remember your helmet. No helmet, no race. And next, my glasses. 100%, not sponsored. Now for me, these S2s, as they're called, this model, I hate changing the lenses. I always get scared changing them. It's so tight that I feel I'm going to break them. And the weather tomorrow is going to be terrible. In the UK, it's called Storm Ashley, and it's going to be wet, windy, cold, dark. So really I need my clear lenses on, but I'm not going to because I might break them and they're expensive. But I would always suggest getting the glasses ready the night before rather than on the race day. Now, where should we go next? Aha! Now these are amazing. Amazing! And obviously not sponsored, but these are the warm-up pants. Now I'll put a clip in now, so don't go anywhere, but I'll put a clip in of me showing you how they work. But essentially it's a long zip on both legs, which allows you to just take them off if you're, short on time at the start line. You can just, so I'll show a clip, and it's just a few seconds long, and I'll be back straight afterwards. So enjoy. Welcome back. Now, carrying on. Coat. Now this is in theory it's meant to be waterproof, but after an hour or so it's just, you're going to be as wet from sweat on the inside and the water gets in. But big coat for cold and wet, because it's going to be cold and wet tomorrow. Now, I'm using a skin suit for this race because, funnily enough, this is actually lighter than a pair of bib shorts and a jersey by about, I think I weighed it, about 30 grams or so. So you might as well use it if you've got it. And it's aero when you're going about 27 kilometers an hour or so. Now I have these velo toes, and I'm probably going to use these tomorrow, even though they add weight. But if I'm going to warm up and I get cold feet, and I don't want to have to take shoe covers that I have to take off, so these are fairly lightweight latex, and they're quite difficult to get on, so I'm just going to put them on straight away when I'm getting changed tomorrow, and just leave them on during the race, so warm up in them and use them for the race, because they just keep your feet a little bit warmer than they would. They're not great for insulation, but it's just keeps the wind and the cold out just a little bit than nothing. But yeah, they're great in the wet. I highly recommend the velo toes if you're not allergic to latex, obviously. Now I have my lights, front and rear light. In the UK you need a rear and a front light for a race. Again, if you don't have a light, you don't race. And I need to go and find the rubber strap for that one. Now Garmin. Now I'd recommend with something like this, like a race, that you've got the right screen. So I'm probably going to set this up so that I have just 2 on the display. So probably just power, 3-second average, and probably time, lap time. So how long I've been riding in that lap. So I think the hill climb tomorrow is probably in the region of, probably for the winning time, 1.5 minutes, 1 minute 40. I guess we'll find out. So I'll just hit the start and basically just go as hard as I can from the start, and then just count it down. So yeah, and also make sure it's charged and everything before the morning. Now, it might seem a bit overkill, but when the weather is bad and wet and you'd want to be able to concentrate on what you're doing, this really is what you need, you know, so there's no friction down there. So yes, you can use your normal stuff, but just, you know, to make sure. It's a good idea to take it when it's wet, definitely when it's wet. And just a few bits and bobs. I've got gloves. Always wear gloves. I always wear gloves. No matter who you are, whether you're a seasoned pro or you're just getting into cycling, always wear gloves. I mean, when you fall, if you have the time to react, your hands will go out and you'll cut them. So just wear gloves. Come on. Keep safe. Yeah, safety first. Now, I've got these, again, no pins. I have quite a few no pins things. They've been pretty good. Again, not sponsored. Now these are the aero socks, and I'm basically using them because they're really light, and you know they're clean up. Yeah, they clean pretty well, but they're quite delicate, so you still have to be careful with them. So I got my hats for my cold head, which I'll definitely have tomorrow, and got spare pair of socks, and I'll have a spare pair of clothing. Always remember spare pair of clothing, because it'll be wet and cold. Always change afterwards when you finish your event. Nice buff, keep the neck warm enough. And neoprene gloves, I think I'll definitely need these for warming up in the morning. It's definitely going to be cold. And I've actually got 2 towels today, or for tomorrow. And again, the no pins one, like that, it's good, isn't it? White towel, probably not a good idea. I'm going to change the colour so it doesn't ruin it. And yeah, there's a few other things. Got my shoes, just give them a wipe, but they're ready. And the bike is cleaned. Just need to add some squirt lube. So I cleaned the bike earlier this morning. and I've let the chain dry, and now I'm gonna add some squirt lube. Again, I don't go with the fancy chain waxing, and because I just like to be able to keep things simple, and then I don't have to worry about motivation for just getting on a bike and worrying about is my chain lube, is the wax coming off. So just chain lube, and then it's easy to clean and it's efficient, and it's not absolutely the max efficiency, but it's only a few watts less than waxing really. Anyway, I'll probably catch you in the morning. It's a fairly early start, and you'll be able to find out what I eat. How do I fuel? I'm going to try and get a good night's sleep, hopefully. I don't feel too nervous. I mean, it's about 700, 600 meters long, so it's a bit of a strange effort. It's quite a short effort, less than 2 minutes, about 1.5 minutes maybe. And yeah, if you have good legs, then just sprint from the bottom and see if you can hold on. Just fingers crossed anyway. See you in the morning. Well, good morning to this bleak and dreary morning. Let's find out what I'm eating. Rice. White rice with my spicy tomato sauce. Don't think there's anything better, is there?
Go to get held up by them. Someone go after the stocks, man.
I'm now back home at the HQ service course, and here is the bike that I used. It's a giant TCR SL 2024 frame, and it weighs, as you see it, 6.8 kilos, and it's not a bike specialized for hill climbing. It's just a bike that I can use for training, racing, and I can, well, be motivated to use it and not have to worry about doing things to it and whatnot. But anyway, I've got another video or other videos on the channel talking about it, and I'll probably talk about it again, so stay tuned and subscribe for that. What happened? Well, you probably saw from the title, disaster! There were cars on the course. Now from where I started, I could see that there was two cars arguing with each other. So one car, well, both cars were stuck. The lane was so narrow that they couldn't pass each other, and they were starting to argue and shout at each other right in front of me, trying to set off and go up the hill as fast as I can. Dog's barking. Now you probably think, what do I do then? What happened then? Well, I had to stop. Now, I know in the heat of the moment could have tried and ploughed on and whatnot, but again, in another video, being hit by a car, I don't really want to get involved with someone behind the wheel who's already agitated and they're already angry, so I decided to, well, call it quits there. But, luckily enough, I was able to go again at the end. They allowed me to have another go, so thank you for the timekeepers for that one. Now, it definitely affected my race. I mean, I was actually pretty warmed up for the effort, for the race, when I was setting off that first time, and felt okay. So I had to stand around, get cold for 15 minutes or so, and I thought if I go and ride around a bit, but so then yeah, I set off again. And you're probably wondering how many watts was it? Well, I was 9th, and I did 520 watts for 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Now, I've talked before about race anxiety in the previous vlog from a hill climb last week. Now that hill climb was also, I did about the same time, and I think it averaged about, well, I actually forgot to start and save the race on my Garmin, but when I was looking down I was doing about 500 or less, so I'm probably at about 20 watts more than I did then. But as I say, I've talked about race anxiety before, and I suffer from it so often, more often than not. And I suppose these videos where I talk about it, and then the next time I get to talk about it again, I suppose it's dealing with how it affects me in the race. And in training, you know, I can do a lot more power than I do on race day, and you might say I'm just like, you know, giving it the blah blah blah, but you know, I can put some power file screenshots of some power data on the screen, and you know, in another video I did, which it was horsepower versus cyclist, or cyclist versus 1 horsepower, you can check that out. I'll maybe put a related video link, or you can still do that on YouTube, I don't think so, but that's just on my channel. You know, I did 735 watts for 1 minute, and I think that meant my watts per kilo was over 11, or about 11 watts per kilo. Now on race days, I suppose the fight or flight for some reason kicks in, and rather than fight and go fast, I get flight and go slow, rather than just flying up the hill. And especially today, you know, it's only the winning time was 1:44. Well done, Marcus. Doing very well. But yeah, for me, it just get to race days, and most times it just doesn't happen. I don't think I'm alone in this feeling or sensation. I mean, yeah, 520 watts is not terrible, but for me in training, I've never really done a full 2 minute effort, full gas, but 1 minute, yeah, 735. And even then, I don't feel like that was absolutely everything. I think maybe 750 would be the max, maybe, I suppose. So only one way to find out. But I think I'm doing a nationals next week, maybe not, don't know. But I'll do more videos on, you know, this anxiety that I feel like I get, and maybe if other people can relate to that, you know, we could go on the path together for maybe trying to feel more like ourselves on race day. But yeah, remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss more videos. I think I've got, you know, a lot to talk about. These races, how to fuel. You know, I'll do more videos about my training and show you the power data. You know, I can do it. See you in the next one. Enjoy the bike, if you can see it in this wind. Hope the camera's not wobbling too much. thank you to Outlands CC for hosting this race and everyone for organising it. Apart from what happened to me, and nothing you can do about that. It was a well organised race, and it's just a shame about the weather, but nothing you can do about that. So, thank you.